What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Chris here at Kalevala South Farm. Well, we finally have some somewhat decent weather. It's rained a lot the last couple of days, so we really haven't gotten too much done. We were able to get the shop cleaned up and organized much better, so at least that's done. And I did do a little bit of scouting between rainstorms in the sugar bush, just kind of looking at new runs, figuring out where we're gonna, run stuff, and doing all that. We also worked down here a little bit right after the snowstorm, clearing this out, trying to get all these scrub trees and everything else cleaned up down here. It's very viney, scrubby stuff, so we're trying to clean that out. I'm gonna leave the bigger trees for now. Eventually I'd like to get some of these big pines taken out to really open up this area for the maples, because there is a lot. There's about 60 maple trees down there that we have tapped, so but that'll be something in the future, probably the next time we do a timber harvest, because those trees are going to have to be really felled in the perfect spot to make sure it doesn't damage any of the maples. So that'll be something down the road. Anyway, I think what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to jump in the Kubota. We're going to head down, and we're going to work on cutting up more of that pine on the Wood-mizer. Unfortunately, my time here is growing very short. I have to go back to work in a week, so it's crunch time. I want to get as much of that pine, if not all of it, cut, because the pine borers are doing a number on it. So I want to get it cut and stacked, stickered, and drying so that it will be all ready to go for us when we get home in August. So we can, do projects or build a new sugar house or whatever we end up doing, which I'm hoping is the sugar house, but we'll see. We'll have materials to do it. So I think that'll be the plan. But the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to address some questions that I've gotten in the comments several times. A bunch of people have asked where the name of our farm came from, Kalevala South Farm. So I figured I'd kind of give you guys the backstory of that. It's not really a common name. It's actually the Finnish origin story. My family is very Finnish. My great-grandfather immigrated from Finland in the 19-teens. He came over here and worked in the mills for a few years and saved up and was able to buy a farm. Once he bought the farm, he brought over the rest of his family, or his wife, and I don't remember who else. My grandfather was born in the US, so he came over. They had a farm. The original farm I don't remember the name of, actually, but then they actually sold that farm at some point in, I think, in the late 30s or early 40s. And then my grandfather was old enough, and at that time him and my great-grandfather bought the farm that my dad grew up on, and that farm was named Kalevala Farm. It was up north in central New Hampshire, and that's where my dad and his sisters grew up, and we ran that farm. It was a dairy for many years, up until the 70s. It's still in the family now, just the land is mostly all developed off. Now there's very little of the actual farmland left. It's mostly all been developed, but when I bought this farm, I kind of, as a shout out or an ode to my family, because it's south of the original farm, I named it Kalevala South Farm. And we've always had a proud Finnish heritage. I've actually been to Finland and met my relatives over there, so that's where the name comes from. The Kalevala was basically the Finnish epic and origin story, and so that's why my great-grandfather and grandfather thought it was fitting, an origin story, their first farm in the United States, together. So that's where the name comes from. The word sisu that people ask about in our logo, if you can see here, the logo on the tractor, that's basically the Finnish word for power or guts or fortitude. So I thought it was fitting to put it on the tractor, because tractors have power, and that's where it comes from. My grandfather used to have bumper stickers that he would get that say it he'd put on all of his cars. So anyway, so that's kind of the story of the name and the word. I have been asked several times. The other thing I wanted to talk about was our future plans a little bit. As you know, we do Christmas trees, maple syrup. We have our sawmill. We do a lot of basically wood farming at this point. We have our chickens over here. But eventually once I retire from going to sea, hopefully in, I don't know, 2 to 5 years, depending on how things go, we'd like to get into livestock more. Get some cattle, beef cattle. We'll do more chickens. I'll get more egg layers and kind of do a small livestock business. You know, that's kind of the plan. I'm really interested in kind of experimenting with running livestock in between Christmas tree rows and in Christmas tree fields, and see how I can make that work. You know, for like a sustainable kind of fertilizer for the trees, and the animals basically taking the grasses around the trees down to maintain those Christmas tree rows. So anyway, that's long in the future, but that's kind of a future plan. We do need to build more pasture land, which I'm hoping over here to do. There's a large flat area over there in the woods, probably 7 to 10 acres. So I'm hoping the next time we do a timber harvest in a few years, I'll have that whole area cleared, and we'll do just like we did up in the upper field there, and we'll get it all stumped and raked and seeded off, and that'll be either new hayfield or new pasture. So anyway, guys, that's kind of my little 2 cents, and hopefully that answers the questions about the name of the farm and a little bit of history of where the Sisu came from in our logo. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna get the tractor warmed up. I'll put the grapple on, and we'll go head down and get cranking on the mill. Down here at the mill, as you can see, our pine log pile has gotten a lot smaller. We only have what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the original plus the one on the mill, and then those 3 bigger ones over there are newer, that we got from a friend of ours earlier this winter. So, and then that's actually some oak we've been cutting up for a friend to fix their equipment trailer, but that'll have to wait for a bit. I really want to get working on this pine. So we got 1 log loaded up, and we'll get this one cut up and see where we go from there. So that's the plan. All right, guys, so there's the first log done. I think I'm actually gonna pull out this one and that one. This one's a little small on that end. It's only about 6.5, 7 inches, so I'm really not gonna get much out of it. So I'll put this over there and use it for holding other logs off the ground. And this other one is so bowed and it's short, I'm not going to be able to get much out of that either. So I think I'm going to pull those two out of the pile and go set them aside. And that'll leave us with 4 of the old ones and the 3 big ones to take care of. So I'm going to jump at the Kubota. We'll move those around. And then I actually have to run up and grab the fuel can. We're getting a little low on fuel on the old Wood-mizer. So we'll get that filled up with fuel. Yeah, that should be it. Get some fuel in it and we'll come back down and keep going. All right, guys, so we got it all fueled up and actually cut some more stickers as well. And we just opened up this next log and it's toast. As I was saying previously, the pine borers have really gotten at this wood. This is by far the worst one we've had yet. By far. This log is no good. And actually I've got one of these pine borers right here, so this is the culprit right there. That is what has destroyed this log. It damaged some other ones, not as bad as this. This is by far the worst. So I'll have to go back up, grab the Kubota, pull this off the mill. This is no good, and grab another one and hope it's better. We have 3 more of the older logs, and then we have the 3 big ones here still to do. So we'll see. Hopefully they're better. It's been a real crapshoot. Some of them have been halfway decent with only a few bug holes, and like this one is literally just totally Swiss cheese. So anyway, I'm gonna keep cranking away at this, but I think I'll probably end the video here, guys. You know, we're just gonna keep plugging away at it, and we'll see where we get at. So anyway, guys, like I like to say, if you like these videos, please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. And just remember, it'll be all right.